everybody, hello or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ruth Venom. I hope you guys are having an amazing day and amazing week so far. Yes! So I'm really curious to know if any of you ended up buying the Jeffree Star mystery boxes for Valentine's Day. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and everything. I kind of want to do a video to see if we can kind of predict what's going to be in the boxes. I'd love to hear, and I'd love to hear you guys' opinion on the ice video I did. I know someone, the person that requested it was really happy, and they're kind of wanting me to do like maybe, you know, a video here and there. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions. Maybe this time if I do another one with ice, I will make sure it's actually flavored ice in both options that I end up doing instead of just one. But yeah, it was fun. Definitely cold, but it was definitely fun to do a different type of video just to throw out there. Since I am a small channel, it's kind of more easier to do that than just sticking to like one niche. But yeah, I'd love to hear if you guys did get the mystery boxes or not. But in today's video, yes, we are going to be doing a Valentine's Day makeup look, and we are also going to be doing the full face look too. So that way, if you guys are curious to know on how I do my makeup, then you guys kind of see this is more of like a light, natural, kind of glammed look foundation I usually do. But yeah, let's get to it. My eyebrows on and my eye base on. For my eye base, I end up using the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, the original, just because with the palette we are going to be using, it does stain. So I'm fingers crossing with that eye primer, it's gonna kind of help it not be so stained. And since we are gonna be doing a sharp edge look, I end up putting some tape down for guidance. And the palette we're gonna be using today is Pink Religion. Yes, we are only gonna be using this palette today for this eye look. So let's open her up. I just love it how it literally looks like a book. Like, I just love it about it. We're going to open her up, and the first shade we're going to dip into is Sugar Savior, which is right here. And then the next color after that, we're going to dip into Diva, which is all going to be on the top. And I'm going to grab my fluffy brush, which is just like this, to dip into Sugar Savior. And we are going to start applying it right on top. Make sure to really get up there. Make it bold, and then also while we're here, gonna make sure to blend out the edges. Forgot my train of thought for a minute. But we're gonna make sure she is very well known, but not too high up. Okay, so now the other side. I just love this pink. It definitely reminds me of the bubblegum shade in Jawbreaker. Oh my gosh, that just reminds me. I haven't used Jawbreaker in a while too. I don't know what is up. Like, usually I'll stick with like a palette for a while and then like forget about the rest, which I'm trying to like not do. Okay, so now we're gonna make sure we blend out the edges on this side real quick before we grab a brush to dip into Diva. Let's get this side a little bit more darker before we do that. Or maybe it's just my lighting that's making this side look a little bit less darker than the other side, but we will definitely fix that, make sure it's both even. Okay, so I think they're pretty much even. I think just the lighting on this side versus this side, which is making this one look darker than the other. So I'm gonna put this brush down. Diva, let's go ahead and grab just a little round brush just like this. And we are going to dip right into her. And we're going to go right underneath Sugary Savior and kind of create more of a darker shade underneath. So we're kind of going like with a light pink bubblegum type like color, and then with a dark kind of like neon, like Diva does kind of remind me of like a neon color, but more on like the dark pink side. So just making sure we're not making the line too thick, but thick enough to see. And it's like kind of going into the sugar color. We can go on the other side. For some reason on this side, it's like, nope, we're not doing it. Lift it up a little bit more, and I accidentally brought it down than what I really wanted it to be. If you also have like any like Valentine's Day like stickers or like stamps where you can kind of like help create hearts like for like appearance stuff, like I would definitely say if you're gonna recreate this look, go for it. I try to find some, but I am not good at drawing hearts and I couldn't find that, so I was like, well, darn it. So I'm just fixing up the sugar with the Diva just real quick before we go on to our next step. What we're going to be doing is also bringing Diva in just a little bit right here, almost to the center of the eyelid, but not too much. And then once we place Diva down, we are going to create a crease. Okay, so that is it for Diva right now. I'm gonna grab just a little fluffy brush just like this, not too big. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my eye primer, kind of put it on the brush a little bit, and we are gonna start sculpting the area where I want the shimmer. So kind of start like playing with how high we want to go into this crease, the eye primer, and then just start laying it down. So it's kind of like more of like a nice finish where the shimmer is gonna go, and then do it on the other side. Hopefully I have enough product that I don't have to dip back into the primer. The shimmer shade we're gonna dip into Candy Cathedral, which is right here. And then once we're done putting this down, we are going to put the shimmer shade on top, which is going to be the Frosting Colt, which is this color right here. So we're going in with the two shimmer shades. So for the inner corner, I'm just going to go ahead and grab a little flat brush just like this to help me get in there. And we're going to dip into Candy Cathedral. And we're just going to start placing it down right underneath Diva and right next to where we pretty much did the creasing on the other side. And what I really like about the shimmers in this one, they're very well still, like, not like They're not kind of like the ones in my Bloodlust where they're kind of like dry. These ones are very like spreadable, mixable formula. So that's really nice. So we're gonna go ahead and place it down. Make sure. Alright, so there's that. And I am gonna grab my brush. I use Diva real quick and kind of just pat where we put that shimmer so it's not like too much of a rough edge right here going into it. So we're just lightly patting, kind of like blending the two colors together. And maybe just swiftly going on top to kind of make sure there's no roughness between the two shades. And then again, just patting on this side. Brush for the shimmer shade on top, and with that brush I'm just going to go in with a little flat end into the frosting coat, kind of tap off any excess, and we are just going to start going right here in the brow, and then kind of coming up here and then just feathering it out. I'll have to fix my brow later on, but it's okay. And now to the other side. Okay. So now that shimmer is all there, we are going to add a wing. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this slant brush to create the wing with. And the shade I'm going to go in with to create the wing, it is going to be Vatican Vanity. It's more kind of like a purplish color, so that is the color we're going to have for the wing. We're going to start right over here. Figure out what spot I want to do, and then we're going to start placing her down. And make sure we really get the pigment on this one. So we might have to put a couple layers down, but that's totally fine. Alright, now we're gonna go to the other side. So I think they're pretty much even. I'm gonna go ahead, this is it for the eye look, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of clear off my desk area a little bit, and we're gonna start with the foundation and everything. So since the eyeshadow's done, we're going to start with the primer. I'm going to go in with my Marc Jacobs primer. I haven't been using it for a while, so I was like, yeah, I should probably use it up before it goes bad. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on my face. I really like this primer, but it's like, I usually only get it if I can find it at TJ Maxx, but I heard that like Marc Jacobs makeup isn't anymore, so I'm like kind of bummed out. So if anyone knows about the Marc Jacobs primer and knows kind of like a product kind of similar, I would love to hear it. But I mean, I like my Maybelline one, but like when I really want like a cute like dewy look, like a cute good foundation look, I know that's like not gonna smudge at all throughout the day, I always choose my Marc Jacobs one. So since I have the primer on, I'm just gonna let it dry for a couple minutes, and while it's drying, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my foundation by Tarte. Grab a little fluffy brush, and I always use this brush only for this. I'll put some product on, and I'll kind of start putting product between my eyebrows and kind of start putting it on. Add a little bit more, and kind of like shape my eyebrow, like a cut finish to the eyebrows, so it looks more sculpted. It helps it kind of make the look a little bit better if you can kind of like sculpt out your eyebrows around, if that makes sense. Grab a little bit more, because I only add like a little bit at little, so if I end up not needing a lot of that product, then it's not gonna go to like waste. Get close to the wing. Other side. Alright, so that's it for that brush. Like, I only use it for like that little reason. Let me see if I can get you guys in here a little bit better. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my beauty sponge I just cleaned and just start blending it in. Right. Keep going until like all this is blended. So now I'm going to go ahead and add the rest to my face. Start with the cheeks always, because that's mostly where I need most of my coverage, is on the cheeks. Because I also do have acne scar on my cheeks the most. And my pores are like, I don't know what it is with my pores lately. It seems like they're huge. Like, what I noticed, like, when I edit my videos, like, I don't know what it is, but always, definitely the pores on my nose and right here, my cheeks are, like, huge, and it always makes it look like, I don't know, even, like, if I put, like, pore strips, like, on my nose and I'll pull out, like, blackheads, it always makes it look like there's still blackheads. I don't know, it's, like, weird, and then when I do remove, like, blackheads, they come back in, like, in a day or two. I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but I definitely do. It's mostly my nose that I have like the worst problems with. So I'm gonna try to like maybe do more like masks throughout the week and more like pore strips. Like I at least do like 1 or 2 times a week, but maybe I should probably do like maybe every other day. I don't know. So I'll make sure my foundation's on. And then just a little bit on my sponge to get my forehead. See, my forehead doesn't take a lot, but the rest of my face does. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my Jeffree Star concealer in the lavender shade. And I don't put that much. I just mostly put it like right underneath the eyes for me. Just kind of like sweep it. And then I blend it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and blend. Because if I know it might look weird, because I know some people are like, have seen me do this step before, and they're like, girl, like, why do you do that? But if I don't, then, I don't know, underneath makeup, it makes my eyes look really, really, like, dark. I don't know, it's weird. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my Tarte highlighter, like highlight light beige. So just to highlight the face. So I do like my nose, right here of my eyes, over the concealer. And then I also, what I like to do is grab a little bit of the product and kind of sculpt right here, just to kind of help brighten my bottom cheeks a little bit. And grab my my sponge, and start blending this part out. Just be tapping. Other side. Good side of my nose. And then right here with my jaw. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take my bronzer, the contour part. It's the Revolution Conceal and Define, and what shade is this? F13, so it's pretty dark. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that. I usually like scrape the spatula because I don't need like that much. So what I'll do is kind of put a couple dots on the top of my forehead. Not too, well, I mean, it's quite a bit, but not like that bad. I'll try really carefully just drawing a little bit on my nose. Just to make it appear that I do have a smaller nose, but I really don't. And then I'm just gonna bring in the contour right there on my upper cheeks. And it seems like this is like always the part that I mess up on, is mostly my cheeks, and I usually just like correct it with like more foundation and powder. So like I've only been shaping, I'm gonna call it shaping, for like maybe like a year at the most. Like I don't know, I do it only like very lightly, but I know there are some girls that can do it like very heavily and very well, which I'm just like, damn, I wish I could do that. But then I'm like, what do I need a contour for? Like really hide things for. So I'm gonna go ahead and pat and blend the contour on my forehead. I think if I remember, like the first time I contour, I always use like those creamy powders, which I don't know, never worked out for me. And I think that's always gave me like doubt, and I didn't try for like the longest time. And then I kind of watched like a video on it, and I was like, I think the liquid would be better for me. And then I tried the liquid, and I was like, I'll do a little bit with the liquid, but not like too much. So now I'm just going in on my cheeks. This is so weird because I'm so used to like doing it like on a bigger mirror. And it doesn't like really like, I don't know, it's weird. Like I kind of use it more of like a more natural like tone blush, if that makes sense. I don't know. You know, a little bit more over here. I don't know, like I do like contour, but I just don't like it how like a lot of people have like that straight edge. I don't know, I don't know, I guess everyone has like their own way. So there's never really like a correct way. And then I'll grab my other side of the blended with my regular foundation and kind of like smooth out like the edges. Then I'm gonna go ahead before this side dries and kind of get it how it is on the other side. Like I said, usually it's this, like the cheeks, where I always like seem to like mess up the most if I end up messing up. Smooth that out. And smooth that out a little bit over here. Let me look at my mirror real quick. My side mirror has a little bit better lighting than over here does. Yeah, I think that's the best it's gonna get. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Airspun loose face powder. I've seen other I've seen like YouTubers use this like back in the day. I think some do. But the translucent extra coverage powder, and let me get some in my lid real quick before I show you. But I don't know, I really like it. I kind of like it better than the Anastasia Beverly Hill. Like it's kind of like, kind of like a natural like colored powder. It's not like a solid white how a lot of other ones are. The other ones I like also is I do like the Jeffree Star setting powder, but I only like to use that for like special occasions because that will make my skin look very luminous, and I don't need my skin to look very luminous every time I do my makeup, only for like special occasions. I'm gonna go ahead and do my setting powder real quick before I forget to save that before I start laying it down. But yeah, and this stuff is very affordable. I think it's like only like $5, $6. You can definitely get out like Walmart, Ulta, I'm pretty sure Sephora. So it's not a product that you can only get like at certain places. Like you can get it everywhere, and it's pretty good quality. Like even Walmart. I think this is where I got mine, was what, Walmart, because I didn't go to a makeup store that day and I saw this and I was like, oh, well, I need setting powder, and I've heard like good things about it. So yeah, definitely worth the buck I spent for this. Do my bottom. Kind of lightly pat it. Like I mostly go heavy like around the eyes, and where I add the highlight down here, and then I was like lightly pat it where it's not like the contour area, just to kind of like set in everything else while like the cheeks and everything's baking. I don't like adding like tons and tons of like layers to the baking because I really don't find no point in that. I don't know, that's just me though. Get between my eyebrows. And a little bit up here. Just make sure it's all nice and padded where it needs. Okay, so I'm gonna let that fix this area real quick. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that sit for a couple minutes. so since that has been sitting for a little bit, I'll just take my little fluffy brush and just start removing excess. Forehead, and then I will go ahead and take my Milani setting powder and kind of do a little pressing where I put the contour areas, just so that that area can get all locked in. Trying to do my nose, and then pat my forehead. Now I will go ahead and grab just kind of like a blush brush and take my BC blush quad and kind of dip into whatever color. I kind of go around and dip like into each one, and then I'll just add some blush to my cheeks. Do it on the other side. That's it. I don't really add a whole lot for for the blush, just because it kind of just needs like a little bit, doesn't need a whole lot. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my LA brow kit and grab my little brush in there and kind of darken the brows just a little bit, but not too much. I always use like this shade the most. Sometimes I'll dip it out, but usually it's like the light brown shade. I've been using this, not this exact one, but been using the brow kit they have for like years. I think I found it like at a store when I was like a teenager, and I like still use it. I mean, this is like probably the third or fourth one I've ever like gone through. Actually, and they last a very long time because it's just like the brow. So unless you're like really going ham with the brow, then these like usually last a long time, and they're not that expensive either. So that's it for the brows. I just wanted to fix up any little bits and pieces there might be that I had to fix. I'm gonna go ahead and swap back into the Milani powder, and I just do a little swish around, and then I'll kind of go over the face and right here, just so it's kind of more of a blended look. If I really want a pop, like really bold, like cheek and like nose and forehead, I'll grab my primer, not my primer, my bronzer, and kind of like add more. But it's winter still around here. Well, it's like still snowing and stuff, and it's not like summer, so I don't want to make it look too obvious that we're contouring, because if I add too much, then I do kind of like at an angle it looks really bad, and I'm like, oof. For the foundation, before I do my setting spray, I'm just gonna grab my highlighter, which is the Supreme Frost Hypothermia by Jeffree Star. This is like my go-to. I've been using like ever since I've gotten it. Like this is like, I swear, like the only highlighter I've been using, nothing else. Put some on my cheeks right here. Kind of do like a upwards by my brow. Again. And then I'll add some to my bridge of the nose, right here. And then the tip of my nose, sorry, I did not mean to cut that off, tip of the nose. And then I'll also get my Cupid's bow, which is like right here. Now I'm going to put that aside and grab my setting spray, which I mostly use Maybelline Lasting Fix, and it works just as well. When I first got into makeup, I would use the Urban Decay 24-hour. I think it's a 24-hour setting spray, but I found this and I was like, it's the same thing. Like the other one just had like a more expensive brand. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray. I usually go pretty hand. I had to go like a tease in my mouth. I usually go pretty hand with my setting spray, but I'm gonna let this dry and then we'll be right back. Okay, so I got everything on. The last we're gonna do is just the lip. I'm gonna grab my lip liner in Celebrity Skin by Jeffree, and I'm gonna start outlining my lips. And I just messed up a little bit right there, but that's fine. All lined, so I'm just gonna add the Celebrity Skin liquid lip on real quick. All right, I wanted to go with more like a nude beige kind of a color just because I don't want to take attention from the eyes. But yeah, and I put on my blonde wig. I didn't add a cap. You can definitely tell it's a wig. But yeah, this is the look. It is all done, and I hope you guys enjoy. Feel free to leave a comment, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.